Okay, so I saw the press conference for Canelo Golovkin 3, and a lot of people have been talking about how angry they think Canelo looked, saying that Golovkin was cool, calm, and collected, but Canelo was uptight. Now, Canelo has come out and said that Triple G pretends to be a nice guy, but he's not. He's an a-hole. Whereas Canelo says that he's always himself. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He doesn't try to play the corporate guy in order to get, I guess, corporate sponsors or just the public on his side. Now, this is something which I've spoken about previously with regards to Golovkin. The whole good boy thing and big drama show and smiling all the time, that was an act. And I didn't find it a particularly entertaining act. I was like, okay, he's doing what he has to do in a foreign country to get people on his side. I get it. I didn't hate it or anything, but I didn't find it as endearing as a lot of other people did who are really on this Golovkin hype train. And they were going completely overboard, acting like Golovkin was, I don't want to go too far, but they were acting like he was an unbelievably good person. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know him like that to know that he's this unbelievably holier than thou type of individual. And so when he turned heel, and he did, I found that far more amusing because the real Golovkin was revealed. I never believed the old version of Golovkin, the, again, good boy and big drama. I never believed all that. And the reason I never believed it is because it's unrealistic, for one, for someone to be just completely a nice guy and just an amazing, what's the word I'm looking for? Like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Yeah, it's impossible for someone to be like that and then also be a killer in the ring. Impossible. You have to have some meanness that shows itself, that manifests itself outside of the ring too. And I'm not saying Golovkin's Mike Tyson outside the ring, okay? But when you have that level of viciousness in you that Golovkin has shown time and time again in the ring, it can't just be confined to the ring 100% of the time. And when Golovkin turned heel, we saw that. All of a sudden, he wouldn't bring Abel Sanchez along with him. He was keeping him on a flat fee, not giving him a percentage anymore. He stopped speaking English, and he's stuck to that. He has a prohibition, right? He's done a boycott of the English language now. Before, he was always smiling and big drama show. Now there's no more smiles from Golovkin. No smiles, all business. And it really, the change came after he got the bag. And it's not like the money changed him. No. Once he secured the bag, he no longer had to keep up the act. Because the act was all about securing the bag. So once he achieved his objective and he'd secured that bag, it's like, what am I smiling for now? In fact, it was probably a relief for him to be able to drop that whole act and just go and be who he really is. He comes across as a stern-faced, business-minded type of fighter, and that's all well and good. I've got no issue with that at all. And he's clearly not interested in the old stuff anymore. He doesn't speak English. I mean, I haven't seen him speak English for a long time. If there's an interview out there somewhere where he is speaking English, hey, you guys let me know about it. But yeah, all that's gone now from Golovkin. And you know what? Abel Sanchez felt aggrieved by the fact that Golovkin didn't want to give him basically a pay rise, right? Because Golovkin was making a lot more money. Sanchez didn't want this flat fee anymore. Excuse me, Sanchez was on a percentage, I think, before. But then Golovkin said, from now on, you're going to be on a flat fee. And Sanchez wasn't happy about it. Now, Sanchez spoke about how he was instrumental in actually promoting Golovkin, because Golovkin was promoted by, I think, was it K2, which is the Klitschko promotional company, and Tom Loeffler. And how many times did you really see Tom Loeffler on camera beating the drum promoting Golovkin? He did interviews here and there, but the main guy who promoted Golovkin, at least on social media, at least in YouTube interviews and what have you, was Abel Sanchez. So I do have to wonder how much of Sanchez's influence was behind the old Golovkin persona. The, big drama show and good boy and all that kind of stuff. How much of that was Abel Sanchez's influence? I'm not saying that he told him to say those things, but did Abel Sanchez encourage him to speak English on camera, etc., etc.? Because I remember Sanchez saying that he encouraged Golovkin to be aggressive. I mean, Golovkin, even in the amateurs, is aggressive, right? But he also could box. And Sanchez, I remember interviews where he was talking about conversations he'd had with Golovkin, where he was explaining, look, you need to be an entertaining fighter. That's how you secure the bag. That's how you get the fans on your side. And so that's what you need to focus on. I know you can box. You got fantastic amateur pedigree, but it's the pressure fighting and the attacking that's really going to make you rich, basically. So did Abel Sanchez know more than just that? Did he teach Golovkin, or did he encourage Golovkin down a certain path more than just his fighting style? Was it also his persona outside the ring in interviews and so on? Who knows? It's conjecture. You guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. But I say all that to basically agree partially with Canelo, in the sense that I think, as I've already said, Golovkin was pretending when he was doing all this nice guy stuff. But in terms of him being an a-hole, I mean, I don't know about that. But the nice guy stuff, yeah, it was an act. And I like a good heel turn. I was a big fan of WWF when I was a kid growing up in the 80s. And, I always was amused and entertained by heel turns. And so Golovkin's heel turn, for me, was one of the most entertaining in recent times in boxing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And, well, the trilogy fight, you can also let me know your feelings on that. How do you think it will pan out? Who do you think will win? For me, Canelo, one thing I forgot to touch on, I mentioned it briefly at the start, Canelo being uptight and angry, seemingly, I think that's got more to do with him losing to Bivol than it has to do with Golovkin. I think that he's angry at the fact that he lost to Bivol, and he's taking the anger out on someone who he doesn't particularly like in Golovkin. But I think that spitefulness is more down to the loss to Bivol than coming face to face with Golovkin again. I just think he wants to take out his frustration on Golovkin, and that's what we saw at the press conference. So that's my take on it. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Maybe Golovkin will use Canelo's anger and his spite against him. Or maybe Canelo will raise his game to a whole new level. Maybe the loss will actually be good for him. Guess we'll find out in due course. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.